Okay. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this, but who knows? Checking, testing. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. I'm sitting in my living room this time, so we'll see how this is. My mom's at work right now, so we got about like 2, 3 hours before my mom gets back. Um, I'm gonna send this to my followers real quick. This stream. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try Twitch. I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna try have more a consistent schedule of when I like sit down and just draw. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I am working on ArtFight and also my comic series. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on my comic art right now first, and then I'm gonna work on some ArtFight stuff. So I have a few people in my hit list. I have some art already, like have a base drawn that I did yesterday. You know, after ArtFight started, obviously I'm not gonna start it early, but I have stuff like set for me to work on today. Just a lot of artwork that I have backlogged. Um, I'm hoping I really want to get back into streaming properly. I feel like I don't do this enough. I'm gonna be honest though, I want to know, like, for anybody who's watching the stream now or later, or, you know, when I post the stream, I want to know if you guys prefer YouTube or Twitch. I don't have a subscription on my editor or like streaming platform right now to like afford both. So it's either I pick one or the other. I think there's a lot more people who are kind of into Twitch, but I know that YouTube is a lot more accessible for people. So I just really want to gauge the audience out there, even though I know you guys aren't really um let's just say there's one viewer. I see you there. Maybe that's just me. Watch it just be me. That'd be really funny. Um, but yeah, I'm asking my Discord right now to see if they prefer Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Um, should I just get on the bandwagon of like making hit piece videos on Disney live action remakes? Would would I make money? I need to prove to my parents that I can be a productive member in society, and that means if it means me putting my hands in the cookie jars of YouTube, I'll do it. Um I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, I'm just gonna become a content creator. I'm gonna do this and that. You know, it's so fair actually. I feel like there's like a huge shift, especially with people within my generation, Gen Z, who are kind of just like, I'm I'm like super unemployed right now, and I'm really trying to get a job, and I'm really trying so hard not to make a video on Instagram Reels or some other platform being like, boo-hoo, I can't get a job because it's kind of real. It's kind of real. It's kind of a real feeling though, like where it's like I yeah, whatever. You know, it's just kind of how it is unfortunately right now. It's just like, oh, boo-hoo, I can't get a job. And I'm not gonna lie, it is making me go insane a little bit. Like the fact that I cannot get like a basic like job at like Aldi or like a grocery store is kind of driving me a little insane. Um and the amount of times I've been ghosted when I try to like follow up with jobs is also like upsetting. Um so you know, it's just one of those things, and you have to like, and the thing is you still have to grit your teeth and be like, ah, yes, thank you for for making me making me go through all of that. But thank you for the opportunity of possibly not really getting a job. It's awesome. It's my favorite. This is the I love humiliation ritual. I love humiliation ritual. It's my favorite. you it's like, you know, I had to sit down with my brothers, and I was like, I want a job so bad. I'll do anything. Just I'll do it. You know that it's like that one meme of the squirrel from Nut Job that's like, I'll do anything. And then it's like the rave music or something. I'm trying to think of something. I'm kind of talking to a wall right now. This is gonna be me the entire stream. It's just me talking to a wall, until like one person joins, and then I scare them off by trying to talk to them. So you know that's just how it is. Um, I know there's some people who literally just like to join streams just to hear people's thoughts. It's fine. I think the thing about streams that is interesting though is more about the interactivity of people. But I'm not gonna lie, of course there is this kind of parasocial relationship that can be formed though with that though. So there is a bit of like a warning to it. Um it's like, yes, you can interact with your favorite creators and stuff, but then there's like the parasocial activity. Whoa! Computer lag. This is kind of why I don't stream often, is just because like I cannot draw. Yeah, it's just, I don't think my program really likes. It could do simple strokes, but I don't think it like registers. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I feel like we can tell the difference between my computer when it runs properly and then when it just starts having like an aneurysm. Oh man. Okay. I think for this one, I'm gonna change Jungbae's clothes a little bit. We're gonna give her more of like basic clothes. She she sacrificed her own clothes so she could get her little baby nicer ones. Most likely that because she's kind of a peasant, most likely she would be wearing a lot of browns and grays and stuff. I mean, she already does that in the beginning here. But anyways. So this is kind of like her outfit here. She downgraded to more peasant like in the next chapter. That's what we get of her. She doesn't spend that money on her own clothes. What do you mean spending money on your own clothes? When you have your little baby, you gotta spend money on. So, little baby. Okay, let's hope that this color works. And then it would probably be like a white belt that she uses. So I'm just concepting the colors for the next chapter. I don't really think there's like any important details or anything. But yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll advertise my stream to my main stuff real quick. Oh, it says I'm gaming! Gaming YouTube. Whatever. Oh no! I clicked on another tab. Here goes my frame rate. You know, low key, it is really because my dad is starting to make content. Like, he's starting to make videos and stuff for his business, so I'm feeling like a little threatened because I haven't been at the YouTube scene for so long. Um, and I'm wondering, like, what should I talk about too? I know for streaming, it's probably one of the easiest, like, I'd say content that you could make, but yeah. I'm gonna be evil and ping my sillies. Um, let's see what pings I have. Um, before I ping everyone and just be evil. Mm, I don't know if I have the announcement role anymore. I think I got rid of it. Oh, sorry, I went silent. Just sending this to the channel. Um, okay, I'm gonna be a little evil and ping my little frogs. Um, pin my server, kills them. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna come and witch hunt me. Anyways, I guess I'll talk about the latest documentary that my mom and I watched while I'm drawing. Then, okay, I just announced to my server, so I'm gonna go back to drawing. But so what my mom and I watched last night was the Trainwreck Nightmare Cruise Line. It was a Carnival Cruise, and I think we all know what Carnival Cruise it was. It's the poop cruise. That was kind of wild seeing like a whole documentary about it. I didn't really know like the more finer details relating to the cruise, but it was more so I remember listening to a video back in 2016 relating to the cruise, and it was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then you just kind of leave it at that because that was like how the community was. It's like I feel like we were on a constant search. It still feels like that today, but it feels like we're on a constant search for like the worst possible scenario ever. But I'm not gonna lie, the poop cruise is pretty bad. That is pretty nasty. Um, pretty crazy. Here, let me refresh chat. But yeah, I'm so sorry for for people who just join and then they just hear me talking about the poop cruise. Um, that's just it's just how it is. But anyways. Okay, so recap for my one viewer. I am working on ArtFight drawings as well as art of my characters for my comic series I'm trying to work on. I have chapter 2 currently being concepted right now. Hopefully I'll be able to finish the all of concepting this week so then I can start working on line work and posting it by next week. I'm trying to get these comics out bi-weekly at least. But yeah. Um anyways, I'm kind of just rambling. Maybe I'll make a video about like ArtFight or something since like everyone's talking about ArtFight again. It's like back up and it's like Oh my god, did you hear about the biggest drama on ArtFight? It's like, dude, I'm gonna be real honest. I do not care. I think it's really funny how dramatized everything is on YouTube nowadays. Um, Honestly, that's kind of what's killing, like, watching YouTube videos for me half the time is just like the dramatization of everything. Just everything's an issue. Some this and that. It's like, oh, the TikTokers. Oh my god, the TikTokers. It's like, at this point, I'm expecting the TikTokers to like have committed arson or something. Which they probably have. I'm not gonna lie, that has probably happened. But I feel like I'm a contrarian sometimes when I'm on YouTube. Um, it's an interesting feeling that it's just like some drama will happen, and then I'm just gonna be like, wow, that's so crazy. My gosh, oh my gosh, I keep getting video recommendations about like Birdie or Jack drama all the time, and I'm just like, I don't care. I do not care. The care I give is zero. Um, and it's just like, do we have to beat the dead horse again? Like again? And it just feels like I want to make art commentary videos, but I do not want to be a part of like the art commentary sphere, I think. I actually do have a video written down of the Apothecary Diaries. I have a few video essays written actually. I have yet to sit down and read my script. I have tried and attempted to read my script a few times, and then I just kept going off topic, and it's like, oh my goodness, this is why this is why I stopped being a content creator. Is just because um, I struggle so much with staying on topic. So I think my best platform for when I talk about stuff might be my streams, because at least when you're on stream, you can have the excuse of going off topic and just like kind of rambling about things. Um, and honestly, sometimes I just kind of like, I totally get it. I actually get it now, like why people just like watching people play games and then just talking, um, or doing something like that. But yeah, uh, Jung Bei. I downgraded Jung Bei's clothing. She looks so bland. Hmm. Maybe I'll give her a blue skirt instead. We'll do that. We're gonna change the color palette just a little bit. I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, you know what? You know what? Okay, I'm kind of messing with this. Yeah, yeah. Okay. This is a little bit better. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Um Yeah, no, I like this a lot more. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Actually, we're gonna go change this color here to, it just needs to be like a dull color, like faded, because she is not rich. She is poor. She had no money. And we have no money. Yeah, so this is what poor Chuli has to deal with, is her mother not going to the store and getting new clothes. It's like old raggedy. Why your shoes raggedy? Why your mama dead? why? It's hello, Vine. All right. What do you guys want to talk about for the people in the chat? Want me to keep talking about ArtFight? I was thinking of talking more about ArtFight when I started working on my ArtFight attacks, but let's check the server and see all the little silly froggies. 2 silly froggies! Awesome. Awesome. 2 sacrifices. Who want to join stream. I might make a poll later though for if people prefer Twitch or if they prefer YouTube. I think for streaming, I think most people prefer Twitch. I think I am, I don't know if I'm able to be monetized on Twitch, but I don't really want to. I don't really like the idea of being a content creator and being monetized. But I also understand that that's like how people get a living. That's how I realistically, like, if I don't get a job within this like month, I might turn to content creation too. That is literally what might happen because I'm struggling so bad, so hard with just finding anything, any job. Um, and and a lot of it is my I think some of the criticism I've gotten is um if I'm saying like red flags in the interview or this or that. And I think the thing that's really scaring a lot of like employers, especially with like just simple places like retail or food or etc., is the fact that um I'm a college graduate, and the work ethic of college graduates and Gen Z right now is just people have this perception that our generation is lazy, that they're that that we don't want to work. I'm gonna be honest, I do want to work, but I also like I don't want to be exploited. But I think that's another thing too, is that they're like, your generation doesn't appreciate being exploited. So true. I don't want to be exploited. It would be funny though. Wouldn't it be funny though? I mean, when I was 17, I was working at a food restaurant for like $9 an hour, and we had no tip. And I also, oh my goodness, I think I had anxiety. This is actually the reason why I have like anxiety attacks relating to like workplaces that are like food restaurant um or like retail, because I had such a poor experience with my first job in the food industry. And this is before I even realized, I had before I had a autism diagnosis. This is before uh, my mom told me that I was autistic, and I was like, and you didn't mean to mention this to me? You know what? I'm not gonna hold it against her. I know there's a lot of, especially during the time when I got my diagnosis, um, it was very taboo. It was like you had a disease almost if you were diagnosed, with autism. And it's really sad because I do think if I was more aware of my disability, I probably would have been able to cope a lot better with a lot of my um, situations in life. And honestly, it explains a lot. It actually explains like one of my biggest crash outs in like freshman year of like college. I was like, guys, I think I'm autistic. And then when I learned that I was the next year, I think it was not 2021, it was 2020. I'm trying to remember which one. It's 2023, I think, that I learned that my mom said I was autistic, that I was diagnosed with autism. But yeah, sorry. This turned into a me talking about autism rant, I guess. My bad, my bad. I cannot see chat. Are you guys talking in here? Hello, Spicy! Oh my god! Do I have you as a moderator? I forgot. What? I think so. Alright, whatever. Hello, Spicy. How was your trip? Yeah. In insert place here. I'm not gonna dox you like that. Yeah. But, autism diagnosis? Be like? I did consider, when I was in college, though, I was considering, uh, getting a diagnosis. Okay. But then my mom was like, you don't need to do that. You already have the diagnosis. Jaw drop. Excuse me. What? Yeah. Think Chuli. Actually, I'm gonna give her a different Hanfu because the reference I'm using is when she's 8, and she has grown since then. So we're gonna go with. I do think. I'm gonna go with just like go with the browns and greens. Uh-oh, laying color palette. Very good. I'm number one apparently. You're so true. You are number one. It says you're the top fan. You're Lou Frog number one fan. Oh, oh my god. Yeah, I have to like um yeah, so how's your art fight experience so far? I definitely not planning to attack you next, Spicy. No, of course not. Oh god, I have to pull out a different character drawing. Oh, oh, oh my goodness. Yeah. Um, our fight is actually going pretty well. I was expecting myself not to draw like a million drawings this month. I'm not gonna lie. I started to draw a million drawings the minute the clock hit the time. So, uh, uh-oh. Let's see what I think I could do like another brown. They're so peasant coded. Oh my god. They're so poor. Actually, you know what? Knowing Junbei, she would spoil her child. So, but the thing is, does Junbei have money? Junbei does not have money. I do think her child would wear pink until she becomes an adult, and then she chooses like green and pink. That's like her color palette that I'm thinking. Oh, hello, Pidge. I got only one done. Real. Uh, Butter Cubic. Hello. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I got like a whole like frog illustration done as well as uh like four drawings, and I went a little insane. I went a little insane yesterday. I may have become a little madness. But I kind of binged some of the drawings when I was watching I recently watched K-pop Hunters with my little brother. I'm actually so happy that he really likes that movie. It's so good. It's so good. I was actually impressed too. I was like, "Oh my god. Okay, I know why people like ranting and raving about this movie. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, guys. Like no worries. But I was just like, "Wow, this is like really good." And the songs were good too. Like, I mean, obviously, duh, it's about K-pop. Okay, I remember when I uh reading Spicy's comment. I remember when I got recently diagnosed, my parents were talking about how basically at every parent teacher conference that the teacher would describe me as Will is Will. Smiley face. That is like that isn't the biggest autism flag. Yeah. No, my biggest autism flag I think was when I had a sweater around my waist when I was in middle school. There was a teacher out there who just wanted to get me. Like bro was out for like bro had beef, like one-sided beef with this what, like 10-year-old. I don't know. And this we my school had a point system, like what is it called, I'm gonna call it a point system, where basically like you have like 100, like each student has like 100 points on a card, and if they lose points, there's like punishments for it, such as like detention or suspension, etc., um, or like calling your parents. Um, I've gotten points off multiple times for dress code, more specifically because of my sweater. I didn't even wear the sweater in school. It was just to ground me, because if I didn't have it, I'd feel naked. Which I think is really funny. But it was I mean, I do it. I still kind of do something like that today. I wear like I have a blanket that I wear as like a cloak when I'm indoors. And it's not because it's like, oh, I'm in deep in brooding or anything. It's literally just because I like feeling like something heavy on the shoulders. It's kind of like when people have, weighted blankets, except it's just on me all the time. I don't like sweaters though. it's interesting. Sensory. If you guys have any sensory, autistic or not, feel free to put it in the chat. Like, tell me what your sensory is. But yeah, no, that is really, it really do be like that. I used to scream at the top of my lungs in one of my classes, and then I actually feel so bad for the teacher now that I'm thinking about, like, my poor teacher was just like, man, why you scream like that? And my friend, my bestie, and I in the background just be like screaming at the top of our lungs. Um, but yeah. Oh, what kind of flower am I drawing? A daisy. Yippee! Ghosts are scary. I love baby Chun-Li. Oh, I just I wanna turn her into a marketable plushie. Oh my god, she's so cute. I can't wait to finish this chapter 2. And then chapter 3 is gonna be like not it's gonna be more of a Jungbei focused one. But then chapter 4 is gonna be like more Chuli focused, so ghosts are scary. Meanwhile, the ghost. There are five ghosts that I plan to design, but I'm only gonna be previewing one of them. Next chapter is gonna be a little bit longer, so it might take me a little bit longer to work on. The wizard experience. So true, so true. Same. I feel so much better when I'm wearing a bathrobe, but it's not hot. But it's so hot here lately. Oh, that's so fair, Pidge. Like, yeah, no, it's like, well, today it's like a little bit cooler. I took my little brother out to the golf range because it was raining earlier. We made it out in time. We finished our you know golfing before whatever the rain came, the storm came. That's what I meant to say. But yeah. I'm trying to get out more and do more golfing. I want to try and get better at golfing. I applied to, like, man, I feel so I, you know what's so funny? I have the capability, I keep saying this, I actually have the capability of doing any sport that I want to and be very, like, and I could be pretty decent at it. Now, if I, like, actually sat down and took the time, I could be pretty proficient at that sport. But I'm gonna be honest, and then I don't do that. And then it doesn't happen. I actually, I love saying this. This is where I peaked when it came to sports, but I won a golf tournament when I was like 12. So, on the girls' side, but yeah. Oh, guys, remember, I'm a they them. But when I was a child, I was not they them. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, and then swimming. I did a lot of sports as a kid, actually. Sorry, now I'm just changing this to sports. It's just because it's hot. I don't like sweating. Real. Sweating is cringe. You know what I realized? I should have made the Hanfu onto the opposite end because the character is dead. There's something wrong with me, guys. Okay, we're gonna just we're gonna edit this just a little bit. Maybe this guy will have his boobs out. Who knows? Yep, his boobs are out now. Whatever. Actually, I don't think we'll be able to see his boobs. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. Is YouTube gonna, like, strike me down for saying that? Like, man buns? Man boobs? Or man chest? I hope not. Oh my goodness. It's not like I'm drawing them. Okay. I'm really trying. I know YouTube, I probably have no chance of being able to monetize my account. This account has so many, like, skeletons in its closet, like, from, like, old videos that have gotten flagged for, like, stuff now. So, if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I can't. I'd have to start a whole new channel, or I'd have to move everything to my alternate account to make, to do stuff. So, I'm cooked. Oh my goodness, why is There you go. Oh, dice. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like he's a skinny ghost. So he's a ghost. Whatever. That's a big sash, bro. All I can think of is like bro's sash is so big. It's just it's leaving him open. This ghost this ghost is a silly I peak character so true, so true. Peak character design. I can't wait to show you guys the other ghosts though when I get closer to releasing the ghost face. When it comes closer to releasing the chapter 2. So because I got like 3 gnarly ghost designs that are like not this guy. This guy is like fine. This is like entry level ghost. This is like ghost number 1. This is a servant ghost. This ghost that does like labor, physical labor. Yeah. And then Jungbei just takes her kid to work. He's like, I gotta go, like perform an exorcism. Poor Chu-Li, bro. Chu-Li is just like, I don't want to be here. Why are you making me be here, mom? She's like, we gotta dispel these ghosts. We gotta get rid of these ghosts. Because I need money. Actually, I think what's really ironic is that Jungbei is actually I've been pronouncing their names wrong. I'm sorry, guys. It's Jungbei and Chu-Li. But anyways, but yeah, Jungbei is like anti-capitalist. She hates money. She hates anything to do with having to spend money to get goods or something. She's like, why can't we just go back to the bargaining system? Which so for real, honestly. Every day is bring your kid to work with her. For real, for real. That is what she does. She is not a good mom. She's a good person, I feel like, but I don't think she's a good mom. And I mean, to be honest, I think she's yeah, she's it's hard to really explain. You could be like a good person but not be a good parent. Um I don't think she's like so originally I did have an idea before and then I changed it after getting feedback from my dad. But so originally I was gonna have her like have like a leash for Chu-Li in the haunted mansion because she was like, I can't let you go wearing. But I actually think there's a level of trust that she would have with her own child to where she lets her child roam, which I feel like that would be out of character. And also my dad says like parents who use kid leashes are lazy. So I was like, "Oh, I see how you perceive this." So I decided against it. And instead I have I had to change a little bit of the story, but I think it works a lot better though, and creates a little bit more complexity for the characters. Though if I went with the other route, it would still I still think there would be it like I think it would make Jungbei a lot more dislike like you would not like her. So I decided to get rid of that aspect of the character. Saying okay, so you have to inherit the family business, Julie. You are my star employee. You have been promoted. I don't know what the meme is, but it's literally that. The same way you can be a good person, but like bad at playing piano or something. Yeah, exactly. Um, I want Jungbei to be like complex, but like also not like horrible. Like I don't want you to like dislike the character. I want her to still be like you can understand where she's coming from, but at the same time you can still be like, points at Jungbei, what are you doing? To be fair, she at least took her child and like actually takes care of her. Like even though she may be like having a little bit too much trust in her child when going to like ghost hunting missions or like to be fair, most of the time she's like hunting like beasts or like um mythical beings, not really undead or human related foes. That's kind of out of her wheelhouse, but she kind of needed to do this for another reason, which is going to be explained in the chapter 2. I already have everything written out. I just need to draw it all. That's what happens in stories. I like have everything written out, and now it's just taking me like 2 million years to like finish the comic. But you know what's funny? I'll sit down one day and just finish it all, which is what happened with the first chapter. I just sat down and I just like cranked it all out. Well, it did take me like 2-3 days actually. It was actually a little bit more of a production because I had to make I had to color some of the comic chapter, the first few pages of the comic. So slash foot cam. Hello? Why isn't it working? Hello? Hello? Cookie has been nerfed. Oop. I got a little concerned there. Oh, you thought foot. Yeah. So, what was I talking about? Sorry, I'm rambling about my OCs. I'm so excited to share like more of the story. You can check out the first chapter. In the description, I have like a link to the comic series, where I'm gonna be posting everything. So, chapter 1 is posted there, and if you click on chapter 2, you're gonna get a meme. So, the meme that I have is of here. I'll open up out in here so you can see. It's of Jungbei and Chuli and her husband. We're not gonna talk about the husband because like who cares? Who cares? Until I reveal him later on in the 100th chapter or something. And I'm keeping to my word. Who cares about this man? Anyways, but when you read the comic, I think when I was I think what's interesting is when I was talking to my stepdad about the plot and stuff, like the synopsis basically, which is, you know, it's about Jungbei, who's like a monster / spirit hunter who brings her child to work every day. But his reaction's like, where's the father? What is he doing? Why did she leave him? And it's like, wouldn't he have feelings? And I think the thing that we assume is that like their marriage was like a happy marriage in the first place. We're here for your don't apologize rambling about that. It's literally your stream. You're allowed to do it. Unless you're sponsored. I will. If I was sponsored, I would talk about the sponsorship for like a minute or two, and then I would continue to whatever I'm doing. So I think that's how it works. But yeah, hopefully my mic isn't too low. I feel like it's every time I do a stream, it's just like my mic is like butt, you know, like butt cheeks, and I'm like, ooh. But yeah, guys, I have family friendlytized myself to the point where I don't cuss on stream anymore. But yeah, I've been practicing for this day. You're not. No, you're not. Start talking about the state of the economy. You know what? You know what's so funny about that, Spicy? I actually was talking about that earlier, in the stream when you guys weren't here. Talk about my interest. Slash. Sonic fandom? I think I would be interested in the Sonic fan base if I actually looked at, like, if I looked into like the series and stuff, you know. But oh, my boba tea just went drops my okay, we're good. Okay, like I was saying, I think I was talking about my stepdad's reaction. So he was just like, "What did the father have complex feelings?" I actually have written and went into like hypotheticals and scenarios when it comes to like Jungbei and interacting with her husband. Jungbei doesn't hate her husband, by the way. She just leaves him. She takes the kid too. She takes custody of the kid and just leaves. Which I honestly, it's just kind of like, oh, power move, but at the same time, like it's kind of a horrible thing to do, especially within like ancient China. And I just part of me is like, oh, this is so funny and hilarious, but at the same time, I can understand how a lot of people who especially if you are a parent yourself or a father, um, or a man or etc, like seeing like this character do these actions, you can definitely be upset at that, and I do not blame people for being upset or disliking Junbei simply for the fact that she just left with the child. And is that the best thing for Chuli? No, I don't think it's good for Chuli. It's based as hell. So true. But but at the same time, like you can't blame Jung Bei for doing what she did too, because she was put in an arranged marriage at such a young age with this man. God forbid women in ancient China have hobbies. So true. But but I do think it's like I want people to be able to empathize with Zhang Bei, but at the same time, like I want people to understand, like, yeah, no, what she did is kind of messed up and wrong, but at the same time, like it's understandable like why she did it, but there's a lot of complexities behind it, for why she just up and left with Chuli. Zheng Bei, I describe Zheng Bei as a character who's kind of like, I'm not going to describe or say any specific mental illness or like disability that Zheng Bei has, but Zheng Bei is definitely neurodivergent in that sense. And but I'm not gonna describe it to people. I'm gonna leave it up to like viewers' interpretation, mostly for the reason that other than it's just like that she has, and it's also just because like I don't want there to be like any poor stereotypes towards certain like groups. But I will say this, if anyone ever asks, there is a ASD, well, autism. You just want people to fight on whether she's good or you just want people to fight on whether she's a good person or not. Yes, I do. I want people to fight. Yes. God forbid we have complex women. I think she's a complex character, and I don't think she's like a good or bad person, like in this, like if we want to say that. I think she's a rounded character, like um and that's okay to have. And I think a lot of people just get kind of like shoehorned into this box where they have this black and white thinking where they're like, oh, they're the best character ever, or oh my god, they're horrible, they did one bad thing. But it's very important in any healthy fandom ecosystem to have a character that people debate morally on. It's so true. And and also Chule is like not, I'm gonna be honest too, Chule is like not a saint either. I know in this image she's only 5, so like she is a saint. But when she becomes an adult herself, she makes like questionable decisions and choices too. Which I know there's some people who have been peeking at my toy house, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a preview of a character who I've been concepting and considering to add into my series. It's a man. It's a hot guy. Okay, I get in the attention of all my gays, and mostly my gay. Hello, Frankinator Gaming. Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing? But yeah, so here's a character I'm gonna tease a little bit. Oh my god, every fandom needs their hot man. So, and I was complaining to my dad, saying like, oh my gosh, I was complaining about people like wanting hot men or more men in my series and games and or whatever. And he's like, well, you should listen to your fans. Nah, I don't want to make men. But I caved. I've actually, at first I hated this character after designing him and writing his story, but I've come around to liking him. So he's not that awful. He, the character himself, is a awful person though. So I am going to say that. Waiting for more Bendy tomorrow. Fair. fair. Hearing Bendy feels like a jump scare for me because it's been so long, but real. Um, but yeah. So this guy is called the Crane Prince. Or we call him Chi Peng, or something like that. Here, I'll just like spell out his name for you guys. I'm like gonna butcher it anyways. So it's like Ji Peng, and then my computer just started to self implode the minute I wrote the N and G. Okay, there you go. So that's his name. He is a prince who got like executed back in like many dynasties before Zhengbei and Chuli ever came into existence. So this guy, he was then, after he was executed, he was then punished and became a demon. He was punished by the ancestors. Well, not just the ancestors. He was just punished in general by the afterlife, and he became a demon. And now he's like the demon prince. And what does he do? He kind of just sits on his butt. Like, he doesn't do anything. I think after what he did, he had a lot of retrospective time. But at the same time, there's a lot of guilt that this character has, and I'm not gonna spoil too much of it, but I know there's gonna be some people who are like, oh, he's the het slop love interest. I've been seeing this term everywhere on Twitter, and it's driving me insane. Het slop, hello. Anyways, but no, I did actually like try and like integrate his character in with Chulei's character. So he actually shows up when I start writing more chapters where Chulei is like an adult, by the way. He's just lazy. Rolls eyes. Well, he's lazy as a demon, but when he in his past life, he did a lot of horrendous crimes like genocide. So yeah, we shouldn't like this character, by the way. But after he was executed and literally like shunned by everyone, he kind of had a moment of, oh my god, I messed up. Wow, you didn't realize you messed up until after you died. Thanks, my guy. Anyways, but yeah, Chuli, let me grab a reference. We're gonna get rid of Peng. Anyways, this is adult Chuli. Look at her. Oh, look at her. She's taken after her mother. Well, she doesn't take over her mom's job. She actually ends up like, he's lazy and an a-hole. So real. Oh my god. Yes. Wanted either dead or alive. So true. I do have like I do think he's the Xiping is like, he's like an interesting character because he challenges, bro, killing people might be bad. I think I do like the character more now though, because I do plan for him and Chuli to have more interactions together, and they both kind of have their own like perspective change on things. So I think it is really important for them. Do I want their characters to be like the end goal relationships? No, I do not. And I also have another character I want to write a relationship with, Chuli, who she has a relationship with before Xipeng, but I'm mostly advertising Xipeng because like he's a hot guy and it's easier for me to advertise him than the other character that I'm also planning. But I also want the other character to be kind of like a twist for people to just be like, what the what in the world, which I'm really excited. So I like how he looks very Cheeto flavored. He would taste like a rotisserie chicken with like hot Cheeto like dust on him. So I mean, he is based on a crane, so all the characters in the series actually will be based on animals that you find within lakes, rivers, and ponds. So Here, I'll show you guys the anthropomorphic forms of Jungbei and Chuli. Jungbei is a catfish because that is how she is described. She catfishes people on the internet, obviously. And in real life, two ways. And also, catfish are typically a really big fish in ponds, and are typically the apex predators. Um, I'd say there are also other fish too that are like I was thinking catfish are just a lot cooler in my opinion, and I just really like their whiskers and stuff, and they're kind of like ugly cute to me. So I was just like, that's totally Jungbei right there. And then Chuli is just a little froggy, cause they're also like they're they're kind of the middle of the food chain in the pond, and I think this fits Chule like perfectly because she's not like her mother, who's like really good at just hunting demons and spirits, but she's decent enough that where she can still survive, but she still needs to be a part of a group, which later in the series I'm going to introduce a group of characters who also hunt spirits. So she joins an organization basically. Um, and I think what's interesting is what we'll see in the series is the difference between the generations of Jungbei's generation and Chuli's generation. Um, and and I think what I mean by that is it's hold on, catfish, other lake fish. So true. Yep. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Cookie. I'm glad you find them sick. But okay, what I was going back to. Oh yeah, so is if Jungbei was just born just a little bit later, she would have been a part of a society that would have appreciated women a lot more. As in this universe, they're starting to do more like feminist movements when Chuli starts to grow up, when we start seeing her go into her adulthood. While Jungbei, on the other hand, it was a lot more conservative for her. So we kind of see like the difference there. And I think it kind of sucks too because Jungbei she had Chuli when she was 18. Is very young. I know it's not as like young as like other characters in like other series before, but I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't want the father to be like completely disliked. He had control enough to like uh to what procreate at like 18. Who cares? Actually, I'm not even gonna talk about the father and his age, because like if we're gonna be realistic here about like ancient Chinese relationships and like marriages, the guy would have been like in his 20s or 30s marrying like a teenager. So I'm not really going to talk about that. And am I trying to be historically accurate? To a degree. So yeah, but anyways, that's an awkward situation. That's a little awkward for me to talk about, I guess. um I'm gonna close out the tabs real quick. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with drawing them right now. I don't really feel like coloring line work, so we're just gonna save that for later. I'm gonna start working on the ArtFight stuff now. So let me look for my ArtFight tab real quick, and then I'll get going. I'm gonna save that one for later. So let me just make like a new file real quick, and we're gonna pull up the references. So let's see who is on my hit list, and then I'll keep talking about whatever. If you guys want to hear more about my OCs, or if we want to change the subject to ArtFight. But yeah, Jungbei, my favorite oogly boo. But yeah, I mean, I think it's very valid for her to just leave her husband and stuff like that. So. Do I feel like drawing humans? Let's see. I already did that person's character, so I can remove them from the hit list. I think I did that one too. So I think it's this person's who I haven't gotten to last year. So we're gonna do this one right here, this character. You guys don't see him on my list, but I'll start drawing in a second. Yeah, but I don't know. I think after people realize, like, they look at the um when they read the first chapter, they kind of understand why Junbei just leaves her husband. It's not because he's abusive or anything, or he's done anything. It's more so because of the system that why she leaves. It's not because of the man. So I mean, it could have been. I could have made it about the man and just made him like irredeemable or something. But I do want to have I do want to have like a conversation with the viewer. So I'm leaving it kind of ambiguous of like if he was a bad person or not. So, um, and once again, this kind of plays in with like the complexities of characters and that not everyone is a good or bad person. So, all right, okay. You know what's so okay? I'm gonna change topics to ArtFight in a second. Um, and I think what's really funny is that like people were like, "Oh my god, the TikTokers ruined ArtFight." Um, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. I'm just like, okay, so they did what? The TikTokers did what again? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of tired of like I'm just chilling, procrastinating, and writing on fanfic. Oh, that's awesome. I applied to like 3 jobs this morning, and then 2 more when I got back from golfing. So I got like 5 applications in, and I just want to work on drawing, and I want to try and boot up my YouTube channel again, and I want to work on content creation. So the amount of people who I've been seeing are like, I want to become a content creator. I'm gonna be honest, that's so lame. I'm sorry. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you want to be a content creator? I'm making fun of content creators. I I was talking like with my dad about like people who constantly look at anything and be like, this could be content. And it's like not I'm gonna be honest, not everything has to be content. It's kind of like frustrating the amount of like the commercialization of hobbies and just everything is just like really deeply upsetting to me. But I mean I understand people are trying to make money. We're in late this is literally late stage capitalism, guys. We're literally in a late stage capitalism. I applied for a job and I got an interview for next week. Oh my god. I should just move to Finland. I should just come and live where you are and get a job. Because I've been applying since like the beginning of May. Like, well, not the beginning of May. I'd say middle of May, like later May. And how many interviews have I gotten? 3? I've gotten 3 and I've been rejected by all of them. So, and 2 of them ghosted me. Actually, no, I had 4 interviews, and the fourth one of them I applied to a pottery place to work as like a cashier, and I got the interview, like a phone interview. And so, the first scheduled interview, I waited until they would call. They didn't call me. They were late, and I had to call them back like 30-40 minutes after the meeting time because I wanted to give them grace. And then they were like, "Oh, we had an emergency. We'll reschedule to the next day." And the same thing happened the next day. And I'm just frustrated at the like. And then my mom was just saying, "Oh, just don't. They're unprofessional. Don't bother. Don't bother with this. You know, with this job place. And I'm like, I was really upset because I genuinely wanted to work. Like, if I were to have like a job, working at like a cash register or like anything relating to like just I would have liked to been the cashier at a pottery place. I would have liked to given people advice of like what to paint their pottery or whatever, or help with hosting the events at the pottery place. I was so down, and then I just like got a big slap in the face. I got a job that might be a scam. Oh no, Butter Cubic. I've never gotten an actual interview or even a message back. Spicy says, I was expecting them to ghost me since this was my first application, but nah, they called me a few days and I was shook. Oh, fair enough, fair. Um, yeah, it's it's really rough, and this is like after I believe I have like over 100 applications now, but apparently 100 applications isn't enough. I should have had 200 by now, but even if I had 200 by now, that still would have averaged upon like 2 or 3 job applications per day every from from the time I started to apply to now. And I'm going to be honest, I do a lot of my applications in short bursts because I have like heavy fatigue. A lot of times I get really easily fatigued by tasks like this. And I know it's just sitting down and just pressing the apply button, but a lot of it is actually going through filling out information, refilling out like experience and jobs and stuff. And it's so monotonous, and I can understand why people like it can be frustrating. It can be like really upsetting, and I understand why people get upset. And I don't think people are giving like being empathetic, you know? And then there's people who just go out and flat out lie on their like applications too. There's people who use like AI to for their applications. There's this and that. And I'm not trying to be one of those people who are like, "Oh boo hoo." Sorry. Um oh boo hoo. You can't get a job. Sorry. There's so many pick me people out there who like, oh, I did it, I got a job. And then I've been watching so many videos of like how to approach interviews and how to apply or get in front of people. And I think a lot of it, the entire time I'm thinking is like, man, I wish I was a neurotypical person, because like I am struggling so much with all of this. And I was telling my dad the other day, I felt genuinely awful that I'm still here, that I don't have a job, that what am I doing? Like I keep getting rejected in my interviews. I keep getting like ghosted, or like no callbacks. I've even walked into places to ask if they have job applications. I even walked in after I applied, and they have told me to my face that they were not hiring anymore, or they moved on with other people. And it's just it sucks. It's honestly, it I feel humiliated. Like I don't know what to do. And then I feel like I'm leeching off my parents because I'm still living here, and I'm not trying to vent or rant or anything like that. I love my parents a lot. And then, I mean, it really sucks. I love my parents. I'm really trying my best. And it's so demoralizing right now to like get a job. Well, specifically in the United States. I don't know how countries and people are doing right now. How are you guys doing? um, okay. Buttercubic says they contacted me out of nowhere. Like I never even applied. And then when I got there, they were preaching about the growth in business and gave me $500 weekly pay, which is nothing part two, one and a half two. And where I live, I can make a bonus $200, and you can reach a set quota of commission per week, which is $3,000. Jeez, man. Cookie says, I definitely got lucky here in Finland. It has been a job shortage too. It's not even a guaranteed job. I found it funny because I was just I was screaming at my mom after the call. Yeah, that does sound shady. Um, that happened to one of my friends too, I think. But it's like, yeah, it's like I think it's a scam. I I don't scream at my like. I more so have like I don't think I scream at my parents, but I have had like moments where it's like when it comes to like, yeah, I understand. My mom just doesn't want me in the house all the time. I really should just go to like coffee shops and just work instead, and just do my commissions there and just stay out the house. I don't even have a car. The only reason why I have a car right now is because my dad like broke his leg. So he can't even drive. Well, he's trying to drive, so I'm not gonna have the car anymore in like in a few weeks. So um And the thing is, for me to get a car, I have to have a job. I have to make money if I need a car. And you know, it's like for me to work somewhere, a lot of places are like, do you have transportation? Oh my gosh, I need a car for transportation for me to work places. You know what's silly? You know what's awesome? You know what's great is the one person who replied back to me, who actually got back to my reach when I reached back out, um, was a nonprofit project organizer I applied to, and I'm like, oh my god. You know, honestly, I hope this person's project goes well, and I hope they get the people that they need for their volunteer projects. And you know, if I get the position with this project, that would be awesome. And I would honestly, I'm honestly super stoked. But I think the thing is that my parents just don't want me to be in the house all the time. So even if I get the position, they're still gonna be upset at me. So it's like I don't know what to really do. And I'm not trying to complain. I love my parents. I love my parents very much. And I respect them. And I think that's the other thing is because like I have so much respect and care that and it really does suck and it feels awful when my parents are just like, oh, you don't care at all, you're not trying to get it. I feel like I'm joking myself because I'm really trying. And it's yeah, I feel like people assume malicious intent from others all the time. Like there's like an assumption of um malicious intent from, like, let's say your children, for example. Like people assume your child is being like malicious or being naughty on purpose or doing something on purpose. I feel like not enough times people should give I feel like more people should give each other the benefit of the doubt. Of course, you know, don't let people walk all over you because you know, but at the same time, I that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. I know this is something I should tell my therapist, but my guys, I'm gonna be real. I'm no longer attending college, so I don't have the free resources anymore. So crazy how you need money for a car. Yeah, literally. Um, Buttercubic says it does. They left that place and went back to my EMT job, which is also sketchy with equipment quality. Fair enough. Fair enough. Cookie says I was just panicking because I was like, no, I don't want to be. I don't want a job yet. I want to get a job, and I know my parents are like, just get any job, and they're like, you can't be picky, and I'm like, they think I'm being picky with my jobs. I'm genuinely not being picky. I'm literally applying to like every position anywhere. I literally just reapplied to Dick's Sporting Goods again to be like, can you please take me as cashier? I have knowledge of some sports. So you know, um, you need a job for a therapist. Yes, exactly. Everything requires money. Everything requires money. The fact that like some application sites that I tried to apply on required money was actually so how do I say this? Very devious, very scummy, very yikes. Like that is dystopian for me. And then my dad was like, "Oh, but that's like putting an investment to get a job." And it's like, "No, you shouldn't have to pay money to apply to a place." I think that is actually so ridiculous. Like you're telling me that you have to like subscribe to a website to what? Get a job? Hello? Sorry guys for the job jump scare talk. Oh my goodness. Um but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Manifesting my job luck for you right now. Oh, thank you so much. I might get a call back from the therapy technician or something like that. I applied to be a kind of like a therapist for like children with ASD and neurodivergent children, and be like a coach basically. So we'll see how that turns out too. I'm not really. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really work with children a lot, but the few times that I have, I'd say I do a pretty good job. Um, and like I am very passionate about like disability and care for children and like the proper care as well as like helping children. So and I don't think yeah, and I think for people to work with like disabled children, just children in general, you have to be very passionate. Like this is like same with teachers and stuff and so on and so on. I actually did apply to like a wine and design like store, or not store, restaurant. This is basically where they have like instructors come in with like a lesson and then they like teach people how to paint or do something, or crafts, etc. I think I did I did actually get I did have a back and forth from one of the establishments that was near my area, and then they ghosted me. Awesome. And then the second one um just flat out like rejected me. So, but that's just it's just how it is. Um yeah, wishing the best. Yeah, yeah. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to look at this character. There's a lot of markings on this character. But I mean, yeah. I feel like every other day I'm just talking about all I'm talking about is jobs. So I do get a little tense. I do get a little upset when it's about job applications, and then the implications when people like imply that I'm not putting any work. It does make me upset. So, and I do get upset about that, and I think um and I know it's not supposed to be easy too. It's and it's and I think if it was easy, I would feel a little bit more uneasy than if it wasn't. So that's something that I also think about too. But yeah, the thing is, I just need one person, whether it's the art, well, mostly art. If it's art, I just need one person to say yes, basically. So. Well, I need one person to be like, yes, I will give you a job. Back to the topic of ArtFight. In TikTok, there was really a discourse about people being misogynist for having more male OCs than girl OCs. Oh yeah, no, I watched that video too. And I think okay, I have to like pull it from the recesses of my mind really quick because I do agree to with the I actually do agree with the video to an extent. Um, no, I fully agree because there is a lot of but it's not. I think there's more of a male bias when it comes to communities rather than people are blatant misogynists because it is a bold statement to call people blatant like misogynists and it's generalization, and I don't like when we generalize, but but it can come but the male bias does stem from misogyny. So, in reality it circles back to misogyny in the first place. So I do agree with the video. I know what people on TikTok are talking about. There is definitely a male bias within fandom spaces and communities, um, especially fandom. But I also see it within the OC art sphere too, um, where people will heavily like value male characters over female characters, or they'll say things like, "Oh my goodness!" I think the thing that drove me insane is when I saw somebody on Tumblr saying that there's no good female characters other than Mao Mao in the Apothecary Diaries. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, did we watch the same show? Sorry, D, I'm on a stream. I'm flabbergasted too. Yeah, no, because every woman is so well written in that series. Yeah, that guy, girl, whatever, don't know who it is, might be on track. Nah, real. Okay. It was my little brother got a little cameo from him. But yeah, so that's like that's an extreme example of like male bias there. Um and people being like, "Oh my god, there's like no good female characters in this series." and it's okay for, I think it's valid for people to like criticize uh like characters, any character honestly, but like when it comes to female characters, there's such a there's a lot more scrutiny that these characters are put under. um and it's like to a frustrating degree actually. um and people really, they really cannot handle complex women. People cannot handle complex women. Um, how do we remember Rose Quartz, Pearl from Steven Universe? Oh yeah, and the Apothecary Diaries. This character, for me, it's Suire. I love Suire. She's my favorite character. But I see so many people who just like hate her. They're just like, I hate this character because this character killed a man. It's like, I'm sitting here like, literally, who cares? Who cares? In the context of ancient China, a lot of people die. But, but there's Suire. I have a whole video essay written about Suire, and she's like my favorite. She's my favorite character. This is more of like, not everybody though like hates her, but there's quite a few people in the fandom who dislike Suire as a character, and I'm like really scared that like my mom or my dad will hate her when she, you know, appears. I don't think my dad dislikes her. I think my dad just thinks she's creepy because he's only seen her show up like maybe like once. But um I hope he comes around to liking her in season 2 when we start watching season 2 with my dad. My little brother and I watching Apothecary Diaries with my dad. Okay, but yeah, back to the TikTok and oh my god, the trenches. The trenches. Yes, literally. That is Steven Universe basically. The Steven Universe Rose Quartz. um but yeah, I just I mean, I understand, but at the same time, I think if you truly hate the character, well, you're allowed to dislike characters and stuff. But I feel like for Suire, certain characters though, there is like a media illiteracy for like if you just like ignore anything, like everything relating to the character. Um and you like, it's okay, like it's okay to dislike a character, but at the same time a part of me is like, it says something about you if you have such a visceral reaction to a character, I guess. um but yeah, I don't want to spoil much for Apothecary Diaries until it like comes to the video that I'm writing, because the video that I'm writing has like obvious spoilers, and it's obviously geared towards Apothecary Diaries fans. Um, but yeah. So I guess I'll go back to like the OC sphere. But I do agree. I do think there is like I don't think it's like blatant misogyny that people like have. There's more male characters than female characters, but there's definitely more of a male bias. That's what I'll say. So, and I mean, I've been repeating this, so um because I won't lie, like that is, I do think it is an issue a little bit, but once again, it just kind of stems from, you know, misogyny in our systems and stuff. So I mean, like, I you know I you know my issue is when I make an adoptable, and then people start gendering the adoptable immediately as he. Wow, you can't gender the adoptable any other way. They, them, she, her. God forbid. God forbid. But but you know, it's just like no, that's just my own grievances. That's my own gripes. When people just start gendering my adoptables. It's literally an object head. How does it have a gender? So, yeah, I love my adoptables. Yippee! But that's like kind of an example of like I'd say the male bias within like the adoptables community is when an artist like posts like designs like non-specific gender designs, and then people start gendering them immediately. So um, yeah, whenever I get my favorite thing to do is when I get like, a more mask-leaning design, and then I'm just like, boom, that's a woman. That is my favorite thing to do. Or like nondescript creature. I'm just like, that's a girly pop right there. Or hell, even Eldritch Abomination. I love to be like, that's my girly pop right there. I actually, the funny thing is, I associate lobsters with women. Not because of anything misogynistic. Every time I see a lobster, I'm like, oh, look how cute she is. Oh, that's how I think. But yeah, I don't think it's the right place to bring the topic to like people are just vibing. I think it's the right place to bring the topic to like people who are just vibing. I think it's true, but I think there's way better ways to support women OCs. Yes, I do feel like instead of like putting down like male OCs, you can obviously just uplift women OCs. This can be said with like POC characters too, like BIPOC characters. I feel like people could just like uplift those creators and those characters like if they want to see more um or like shed more light. And I mean, it's like I think about this all the time. Like instead of like when you see those artists who like make human jinkas of like let's say Lion King example, Lion King like the lions, and then people like make them like uber white when those are lions from Africa. Um but I then I think then there are art then you would find those artists who actually do draw the jinkas of characters as like the demographic where like those characters would come from. I think of like Kung Fu Panda. Whenever I see people turn them into humans, see there's actually a lot of artists who actually draw these characters from where they're from and stuff like that. And I think the best way to like show support for this instead of like putting down the create the instead of interacting with those artists who draw um these characters as white, then you put up should support those artists who do draw those characters um as those as etc. And I think one of the things that I can think of is like Missing World of Gumball and Darwin, who's very bro is black. Bro is black coded. Bro is just black. So and this isn't even a debate. I feel there's so many people who like have this debate that Darwin is just an orange fish. He is an orange fish, but he's also like every single time the company hires a kid to voice Darwin, this kid has been black. Is black like they hire a black kid. So I just think, and also literally confirmed multiple times that Darwin is black. So, um, but and so for I mean, I guess in this case, there's like literal like irrefutable evidence and whatever. Just like if you see an artist who draws Darwin as white, just ignore them. That's all I think. That's all I'm thinking is just like support the artists who just draw him like how he is when they make human stuff. Um. So okay, Cookie says always imagine male characters as butch lesbians. So true. So true. Real. Real. Yeah. I feel like I've kind of always engaged with women with girly pop characters. Um more than male characters, so I don't really think I have the male bias problem. But I do think I probably deconstructed it a bit ago, though, of course. Like, I have had a moment where I've had to deconstruct, like, how I perceive characters. Because I definitely feel like I did fall into that, to the trap. And I think there are some people who veil their criticism for series, um, like, who veil their, like, misogyny as criticism in series, such as, like, what I can think of, for example, is, like, Star Wars and Rey from, like, the Last Jedi, and I know that there's a lot of people who are like, that movie was so bad. I actually went back and rewatched. It's not that bad, but do I think Rey is a horrible character? No. Do I think there's a lot to improve on her character? Yeah. But do I think she's like the worst character ever? She's a Mary Sue, this and that, all etc. No, I don't think that. I think she's just a poorly written. I think there's more of like she's just like had potential as a character, that the first director had something there, and then because they kept changing directors for the movie sequels, that vision was unfortunately lost in the sequels. They can't hire any orange fishes for the role. We're real messed up not to support the fish actors. So true, so true. But yeah, there was no fish actors. But yeah. So gotta check the reference again. Me checking the reference for the millionth time. Trying to make sure I don't miss any details. There's a lot of times where I just miss details and I'm like, I have to send them a file again. But yeah. Just so I guess that's like the I don't really, so I feel like I've been low-key avoiding your question or like your comment on like the TikTok stuff. I just think I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of said my pure thoughts. So I don't really think I have any like clear stances or this or that. It's kind of always evolving and changing, like when I come to approach new situations and stuff. Because like I said, it's like I agree, but also I don't like fully agree. There's like an extent to it I agree. And I think it's just how we want to approach. Like I think the real thing is like how do we approach these these discussions and situations, and like how do we approach creators and enlightening people. So but I don't think we should obviously be going out of our way to like harass or attack the creators who do favor their male characters more. And I don't think it's bad if there are people, but I do think for us to kind of sit down and like deconstruct things, like we there does need to be a conversation. So I guess in a way, for someone to point out all this out in the community, does at least give us the gateway to having this discussion. So I don't think the discussion is a bad one. I think it's definitely important that we're having this talk, and that's how I'm gonna say my perception of this like discussion and stuff. I don't think it's bad that we're having the conversation, and I think it's good that we're having it in the first place. Do I think this would have been the best way to address it? I don't think there would be a worse way to address it, other than being like, sorry for coming in and staining your carpet with no, I love talking about this stuff. This is like my favorite thing. But yeah, I'm just saying that nobody would have called Rey Gary Sue if she was a guy. No, that's true. That is true. I think if she was a guy, there might have been less of a problem. My problem comes in when we have Finn. He's my favorite character, please. And then they just turn him into a background support, funny laugh track guy. I can't do this anymore. But it's not that I want to sideline Rey. It's that I just really like Finn, and we could have had like a main black lead in Star Wars, as well as we could have had a very they set up a really interesting story and then they squandered it immediately, and I'm like, why did you do this? Why did you do this to me? You could have had a stormtrooper turned Jedi, or stormtrooper turned like force heavy like sense user or something like that. Like, he doesn't even have to use a lightsaber. I don't even care. Like, the redemption of a stormtrooper is a complex idea itself that you could have went with, and it would have been so good. It would have been so good. And then they're just like, oh, we're just gonna toss this out here. Oh, whatever. I'm not saying it was because of Rey. No, it's just because the writers just were incompetent. You could have had A plot and B plot, like this and that. I mean, they technically did have A plot, B plot in the series, but I just think they could have done a lot more with with Finn. And I'm just really upset that they just didn't do that. And I'm not saying, and I know a lot of people are trying to make excuses like, oh, it was because of the Chinese censorship, or oh, it's because they wanted to do this and that. And I really just think they just didn't see the potential that they had with this character, that they had an idea and they threw it out there, and then they just kind of let it be, instead of like actually sitting down and like going through with the idea. I think they didn't want to commit to it. So, but that's just more of like writing. Sorry, I went on a side tangent about Star Wars. I freaking love Star Wars. I would have a whole stream talking about Star Wars if I could. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, Star Wars. And then there's other people who are like, oh my god, I love Star Wars. So, you know, there's that, whatever. Okay. No worries about staining my carpet, discourse. Yeah, okay. What else? Yeah. So, I had no idea. Newer Star Wars, but speak your truth, Lee. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm like a supporter of the first movie of the sequel, but I think if I were to actually, I think I'd rather, you know, weirdly enough, I know this is gonna be a hot take. I think I'd rather watch the sequel first movie over the originals, unless you're talking about the third movie of the originals. But yeah, for anybody who's watching the stream and knows Star Wars, then congrats, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's okay too. You don't have to know. But yeah, but you know, but my obvious favorites are the prequels. Prequels are on top. I don't care what anyone says to me. But if I were to say like by enjoyability, obviously I do enjoy the originals over like the sequels. But if I were to pick what I would prefer to rewatch, it's the prequels on top. I'd say the one that I like to rewatch the most is the second prequel, which is the Attack of the Clones. That one is just my favorite. Like, nothing beats that one. That's just like childhood movie for me. Also, I just like the Coliseum. I'm just a big fan of like arenas and like gladiator stuff. Like anytime Coliseum, gladiators, I eat that up. I eat that up every time. So, but and then it would be the third movie of the prequels, which is I don't know the title. I forgot about that one. You know, Star Wars fans might, like, real Star Wars fans might come after me in the like cold blood. They might kill me in cold blood. But yeah, and then it would be the first. So it would be like so let me like write it down with like a pen here on the side. So we're gonna have technically we're gonna say the movies in order based on chronological order and not by like the date of the release. So my favorite is the third movie. Actually, no, my favorite is the second movie to rewatch. Third, then first, and then if we're coming down to the originals, I prefer the okay, I'm trying to do my math here, my brain stem, and it's struggling. So I'd say the sixth movie of the like original trilogy. So this is like prequels. Okay, so then we got a little bit of the original trilogy. Yeah, you know what? I'll put number 5 in here. I like that one too. Yeah, I'll put that up here. All right. So this like original trilogy, and then I would put the seventh movie. I'm sorry, the first movie of like the original Star Wars for me is so boring, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just don't find it that interesting compared to like the other ones of the original trilogy. Um, we're gonna call this the sequels. And then I guess do I prefer any of the other sequels over the other first one? I guess I'll put the the first another the other one here. I guess I'll put that here because I'm not a big fan of the other two. Actually, hot take, hot take, hot take. I'm actually gonna put um the ninth movie up here for the sequel because I do like the water scene. There's this one scene with like raging water, and that is something I would rewatch this movie just to see that water. Um, sorry, oh my god. Oh yeah, the first one is hella boring for me to watch too. The gladiator stuff is so cool. I wish they did that in real life. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they did back in ancient Rome. and then um, and then I guess we'll go back to the original for like one. What am I not one? I meant four. Go back to the original, and then I'd say eight. The sequel, the second movie in the sequel is just, it's so bad. It's just so bad and uninteresting and boring. Like it's more boring than the fourth movie, which is technically the first movie in the original trilogy. So that's just it. But I'm not gonna lie, Lego Star Wars. If I were to rank this based on Lego Star Wars, this would be higher in my list. Lego Star Wars though, the first movie Lego Star Wars is pretty banger when it comes to like the video game. And the pod racing scene sucks. I hate doing the pod racing scene in this game. It sucks so bad. um but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Uh Whatever. It is what it is. Um you have to accept pod racing scene. But, you know, eventually I came around to liking the pod racing mini game, I think I played the Wii or something like that. The Wii version of the Lego Star Wars prequel games. But okay, so I think it's the third movie Lego for the Lego Star Wars that is just, it pops off because you have to fight like Obi-Wan with or Anakin. If you're playing with a two player, you basically fight your bestie in that in the I can't speak. Oh my god. In the game, you have to fight your bestie. Like if you're playing like two player, the honestly, it is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that is actually so much fun. Um, but yeah, heck yeah, first place, baby. Eat your heart out, spicy. Oh my god, funny without any context because it looks like you can't count. No, so true, so true. I can't wait to like clip this stream. I'm gonna clip this stream and like put it like on my Instagram reels or something. I think people would really enjoy my like Star Wars ranking without any context or like anything. um do I like the Lego Star Wars saga? No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think I tried getting the game and then I tried playing it and then I just didn't like it. But yeah, anyways. Um I know we were talking about like ArtFight discourse, but I think that a lot of the ArtFight discourse this year, ArtFight discourse be like an actual like discussion and stuff, and then last year's ArtFight is like, do you guys think there's too many TikTok players and new players coming joining the game? And it's like, we are so unserious. This is so unserious. We're so not for real. Honestly, fair enough. We love clip farming. So true, so true. I don't really know what people would like from my clips, other than me just talking about random stuff half the time. I do want to like have either a stream or a video of me talking about Apothecary Diaries. I do feel like for Apothecary Diaries, if I want to talk about it, I have to make a video maybe, but who knows? Maybe I'll make a stream. I'll just make it like really curated stream and stuff. Meaning like I'll actually sit down, like I'll have like the discussion points, and I'll make sure I stay on track instead of like popping off like I do with everything. Oh man, I'm really struggling getting the color picking this character right here on the reference. You guys aren't seeing the reference here, but I'm really struggling right now. I'm probably gonna end the stream after I finish drawing this character. I don't know, unless I'm able to like whip out another drawing anytime soon, but I kind of doubt it. I do have to apply to a few more jobs to prove that I'm not useless. But yeah. Let's see. You need to yap about it, dude. I can see it just shaking inside your brain. I think ArtFight Discourse should be about Star Wars, not gonna lie. So true. Who has a Star Wars OC and who doesn't? I have so many friends who love and hate Star Wars, so it's like I always forget who's like the one who likes it and who doesn't. And I feel really bad when I just start yapping about it. It's for me it's more of like a passive interest. I'm not like super hyper autism about it, but like I think I did have a period where I was super hyper autism about it. But I'm not like but I think I just like enjoy it casually as like a casual fan. I'm not like I have a friend who's super autism about it though, so but I don't think I'm like super autism about it. Obviously there's other things that I'm very I just think I'm like I'd say I'm pretty passionate about the Star Wars franchise, but it's just because it's like I love sci-fi. I think I would like Star Trek maybe, but I feel like that's like a big that's a big autism go to. That's a big queer autism go to. But I don't know. I think I'm just scared to get into a new series, so that's why I haven't touched Star Trek yet. But I do think I would probably like it. It's probably because Star Wars is more mainstream, so I can just like talk to people about it. I mean, it's not like Star Trek isn't, but yeah. I'm indifferent. I'm in the middle. I'm so indifferent about it, but I love to hear people yap about it. That's kind of like yeah, no, that's so fair. That's how I feel when I like listen to like super Star Wars fans. It's just like yes, and I'm like real man, so real. So, but I think I do. I think I don't know if I don't think it's my roommate. I think it's another person who I know who's just like ugh Star Wars, and I'm like bro, what? Me when I can't talk about it. No, I only really talk about it when it like pops up in my silly little like dinosaur brain. It's like it's like I don't really think I have the same amount of passion that I do for Star Wars as like the Jurassic Park series. I have gotten into the Jurassic Park series. So talking about another series, a movie series that I like is Jurassic Park and such. Man, I think it's just because I love dinos, man. Like, I do think I cared that they're scientifically accurate or not. No, I mean yes, but no, but also yes. Um, it's just it is be like that. You just gotta. I actually, I know a lot of people are just like, I don't really. World Dominion is me. I'm not gonna lie. I love World Dominion. I love Jurassic Park, World Dominion. And the reason why is because they have scientifically accurate dinosaurs in that they have the Quetzalcoatlus, I think that's how you call it. I may be wrong. It's like the big pterosaur that's like horrifying and could eat you whole. Like those things could actually eat you whole. Like if you were to put any dinosaur into like your dinosaur movie, put that dinosaur. Like I don't even think it's a dinosaur, but put that pterosaur in your like movie, that would actually eat people in one full swoop. Like, that's crazy, 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 But yeah, dinosaurs are cool. I love that there's 6 people listening to me just talk about dinosaurs now. Interaction bait. If you're watching, what's your favorite dinosaur? Or or more so just like creature within the past, land before time. So yeah, just throwing that out there. I hope I'm doing this right for this character. I'm really, they got like these big freckles. We went to an Ice Age exhibition with my mom, and not gonna lie, they're underrated historic animals. Real. I think so too. I think my favorite. I mean, my favorite will always be the Microraptor. I think, just because like they're tiny, and they're very cutesy. They're just little guys, and they look like birds. So, yeah. But second favorite is the giant is that like ancient frog or something like that. I forgot what its name is. I'm not a true dinosaur fan. I'm sorry guys. But it's like that ancient frog that's like massive frog. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for the frog. I am that frog. Spiritually, I am the frog. I think I'm just gonna do flat color for this person. I'm not really feeling like doing like full color. So I'll show you guys some cool ArtFight like attack defenses that I got from people after I finish this. And then yeah, I might clip some of my stream and then post it on Reels and see how it does. Like I'd be pretty shocked if it does pretty well just for being a clip. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. Shout out to the short face bear or whatever. The recreation looked very cuddly. So true. Yeah. Going silent for a second. My brain is processing as like my computer is also processing. It's slow. No. I'm really struggling with this person's character for a second. Like I can't tell these details here. Okay. I think that's how they do it. This is how the character is. Wow, this got like 2 pixels. I gotta like zoom in to the reference here. I gotta go with Megalodon because I'm a basic carpenter bee. Real? No, Megalodon, crazy cool. I think fish wise, I like the Dunkleostis, the ones with the jawed fish. I think it's pretty sick. But yeah, Megalodon cool. I like Megalodon. Bro, it's just a big shark. And big shark just be vibing. Let's see. I'm so happy when people like get an ArtFight attack from me and they're like, "Oh my god, thank you so I'm like thank you," and I'm like, "Yes." I tried so hard not to advertise on my LinkedIn that I was doing ArtFight, but like part of me is like, "Oh my god, guys, I'm doing the ArtFight annual trading event." I don't know if that's professional or not, so I decided against it. The college friends were like, "Hello?" Let's see. Oh, let me stretch my back. I've been leaning over at this table for a hot while. I feel pretty good as I am getting somewhere with like my applications though, so all right. I'm trying to avoid talking about jobs. Oh my goodness. Job application jump scare. Flashbang. Yeah. I guess back to Art Fight. I think last year I did about 40 something drawings, which was kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I think the most I've ever done previous years was like 20 maybe. um so I mean that just shows that I've been getting a lot faster with my work, which is awesome. I'm really glad that I'm like improving so quickly and such. I actually really love doing Art Fight. It really motivates me to like draw people's stuff, especially like it motivates me to do several things actually. And honestly, that's what I really appreciate about Art Fight is like it gets me off my butt and working on all my character references. So like people can draw my characters properly. And if you want people to draw your characters properly, I feel like having a clear references really help with that. No shading, of course. Don't shade your references, but I think if you want like the most accurate depiction of your characters, making sure your references are clear is a good way to do it, and having like information on it. But but if you're more like lenient on that, I think you don't really have to worry as much. Like if you don't really care how people draw your characters, then you don't have to really like put that much time into your like references. But it can still feel nice to have like nice references and stuff like that. I think for pre planning of Art Fight, I think if you were to you make references for your Art Fight, let's say, maybe do it within like at least 2 months beforehand, because if you do it a month beforehand, you're actually gonna forget to do it, and then it's gonna be like time for Art Fight. I typically do my references 2 months beforehand, before like Art Fight, just so I have them all done. And then like if I have to do any adjustments, it's more like adding a different alternate animal forms or such, and it helps like a lot with the flow. Um, I do still have to upload like character anthro forms for some of my characters, but I think most of my characters have like two forms, so people can draw them, whether they can draw humans or furries, etc. So I try to make sure my characters are accessible, especially if I only really want people to draw like a certain character or something. I did. Somebody did draw Chuli, and I'm so excited to show you guys. Somebody made a mutual of mine, Art Mutual, um, did a watercolor painting of Chuli, and I'm like, whoa, this is beautiful. I sat there staring at my screen for a solid like 10-20 minutes, just looking at her. I was like, oh my goodness, I was in tears. Um, my baby Chuli, I feel like Junbei. I feel like I'm Junbei, but yeah. Um, it makes me honestly so happy when people draw like my comfort characters and stuff. And I mean, I'm still appreciative when people draw like characters that aren't my comforts too. I still jump for joy, and I'm like, yippee! So you draw any character, and I'm still excited. Um, so Lou trying to not talk about job applications challenge impossible. So true. Oh yeah, those are rad. They actually discovered that they were smaller than theorized, and that they were a lot faster and maybe boggier threats. Oh yeah, talking about the Dunkleosteus. Yeah. Um then okay, Art Fight has been in the back of my mind, and I've been like, yeah, I should join it, but then I never do it. No, that's totally fair too. I don't think people like if they just forget to join, that's totally fair. If they want to join, that's fine. I don't think anyone's like obligated to join, or like do if they do join. I don't think there's like a huge obligation to like commit fully. You can just like do it. Let's say some people just join for like the first half, and then they just kind of leave it be. Or sometimes other people just join like um halfway through the event to the finish. I think for 2020, I think I joined halfway through the event, and then to the finish. So that's what I did. I think I remember, or I don't know if it was like I joined earlier, like a month, and had start to finish, but I'd have to check the dates on the time I posted my first fight. So I don't know. Check myself later. Um, but I don't think people are obligated to like you don't have to fully commit if you just join for like a little bit. You can just join and then do whatever. do like one attack and then be like, okay, I'm leaving. If you do join Cookie, I will be drawing your OC. That's just how it will be. But yeah. I gotta draw like 5 attacks and 5 defenses per day. If I don't, I'm a leech. No, don't say that about yourself. It's like you join if you want to join. You don't, whatever. Don't feel obligated to join just because everyone else is doing it though. Join if you just want to like, have fun. That's honestly, I think that's the most important thing, is just people having fun. I think a lot of people are taking it like so seriously, like the points, etc. I personally, how I approach this is I have fun. I do like to challenge myself though. Personally for myself, I like to challenge myself to draw more or do more stuff, and I do like to draw people's characters, not for the points, but because I really want people to be happy with what I've give them. So and that's just something that I aspire to do, is just make people happy. So I'm very much a people pleaser within the art community. So it's just one of the things I like to do. So ArtFight's really fun for me because I just like to draw a bunch of people's characters and be like, here's a drawing, and then like never see them again. There have been some users who I've befriended through ArtFight though, so that's good. I mean, it is a social event, so it can be very daunting for a lot of people. I can recognize that though too. No, I know. I just need to get on my butt so I'm not rusty. Fair enough. Just draw like simple characters and stuff. There's like whole community, whole community for that in the ArtFight. I got put into a mass attack for the object community actually. One of my OCs is like an object. I ended up hiding them this year because I don't really want any attacks for them. But I was included in a mass attack last year for object community, and I was like, I feel so honored. It's so sweet. It's so sweet though. It's so sweet. Yeah. I think I think I'm done with this one. I Part of me is like, I don't really want to push my luck for until my mom gets home, because like technically she gets home at like 5. But I mean, I would love to stay on like stream all day, but it's kind of unrealistic of me. Oh, that was a bad circle. That was bad. No, yeah. I mean, I appreciate the people who are sticking around though. You guys are awesome. You guys are so sick. See if I can. Woof. This is what happens to some of my line work sometimes when I'm in a stream. It's just like it just starts like dying on me. I love when my little lines just like start getting like obliterated. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. I'm gonna just live with that. Who cares? I'm not living with that. We're redrawing that. Okay, no, that's better. Oh, this just reminds me once when my grandma was like over my shoulder, just staring at me drawing, and she's like, why did you redraw this line like 2 million times? And I'm like, it wasn't perfect. And she's like, it looked good to me. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. But that's just the life of an artist. You just gotta redraw the same thing over and over again. You don't get it, Batman. The Joker's crazy. Joker's crazy. All right. You know what? I think I'm done. Yep, this is what the person's getting. And then let's see. Honestly, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun drawing this character. Well, like talking with y'all. Let me see if there's like a more simple character after this one, and then I'll do one more drawing, and then I'll end the stream. But let me save this. Who is this on my hit list? Let me check. I hope ArtFight doesn't crash on me when I try to upload these images. Meanwhile, ArtFight, on the other hand. Oh yeah, the next character is a gator character, I think, on my hit list, so we'll do that next, actually. I think I'll do one more drawing, and then, yeah, this character is pretty sick. The person really likes D&D, so they have a lot of, like, humanoid characters and stuff, and I was feeling like I need to draw more humanoid characters, so more humanoid artists attack my art fight, because I do not want to draw like silly kitties. I mean, I love drawing silly kitties, but I want more. If people were to attack my art fight, I want them to draw truly a Jungbang. Please. Or the trio. The storm trio is fine too, but you know, it's whatever. So hold on, let me pull up the piece that I've gotten on ArtFight. So I got two pieces. I don't have the names of the users right now, but I'll put it. So this is one from one user. Let me look up their name really quick on ArtFight. I have the website up. My computer is lagging immensely, so you know, you got bear with me. And okay, so Okarun, so it's spelled Okarun, like that. So this one is of one of my cat OCs. The character just got 10 times cooler being made D&D enjoyer. Yeah, exactly. The endless loop of Lou going, one more drawing and then I'll end the stream. Yes, I know, I'm sorry, I'm like that. I really enjoy talking with you and the 5 ghost people in the stream. It says that there's 6 people on the stream, so anyways. The stream just cuts off as the scream as the computer explodes. You know, knowing my computer, it probably would. So this is a drawing I got from Mika Hella Page. So yeah, it's a mutual on Instagram, and I meant to actually attack them last year, or / revenge, because they drew one of my characters, but I never got around to drawing people who drew a race car, a specific OC of mine. I ended up hiding race car because I didn't want more people to draw him, but a lot of people ended up drawing him, and I was like, oh my god, I just uploaded him. You know, I gotta carry the chat so the lurkers can lurk in peace. So true. Actually, you're so fair. You're saving these people from chatting. Real. Oh yeah, that's watercolor piece I was talking about, Chuli. You can see the little frog form on the side, and then Chuli. Real. Chuli is like favorite of mine. I think I like both Jungbei and Chuli equally. There are some times where I'm like, yes, Chuli is more my favorite, but it is what it is. So let me pull up the next reference, and then I'm gonna submit this attack, and then so I'm gonna show you a preview of the character that I'm gonna draw next. This should be like the last person in my like last year's hit list, so people who I wasn't able to get to. So we got this they yeah we got this reptilian. I'm actually so stoked. She's so cool. They're so cool. Lesbian too? Bro, I'm so stoked, bro. Oh my god. Okay. After working with watercolor, I gained a new appreciation for it. Mad respect for the artist. Oh yeah. No, really. I'm actually so butt cheeks at like watercolor. Like I totally same here. It's crazy. Should I give this should I give this person full body or headshot? That will also determine how long the stream is. Anyways, I'm gonna give them the slay emoji. Sorry, I'm writing it down. Alright, so let me like submit this to this person real quick, and then yeah, I'm gonna submit the tack that I did earlier, and then I'm gonna draw the gator, and then I'm gonna check the chat. So if you're like talking, I probably won't be able to see it until I'm done like submitting the ArtFight thing, because my computer is like actually about to combust. It is ticking. It is, if you could hear fans, which it does not have, you would hear the fans. It would going on like it would be having a stressful time right now. Do I think I shaded this? Not really. I think it's fine. Yeah, I'd say this is flat color. This isn't like shaded. Okay. No background. No background, unshaded. Yep, whatever. We're good. 16? Bruh. Whatever. Okay. Time to check the chat now. How are you feeling? I guess it depends on that. Hey, yo, she, them, teeth. Real. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, I could keep yapping. I think the problem is like, I don't want to push it too long until, like, my mom gets home. So, you know, like, she's gonna be like, the stream has been going for 2 hours. So maybe I'll just do a headshot. So, you know, I can end the stream, earlier. I got 2 notifications. What's going on? I don't remember said this on Discord, but okay. So, oh yeah, somebody's just like saying thank you for a ArtFight attack. Yes, of course, silly Billy. I unlocked the achievement of 100 attacks on ArtFight. That the one that I just posted is my 100th one. They should feel so honored. But yeah, I'm joking. My battle ratio is 75%. I want to make that 90. No, it's fine. Okay, so I think I can click off, and then I got one more, and then I'm gonna work on spices next. But I'm doing that off stream. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Cookie, thank you. So we're gonna other layer. We're just gonna do in the same like window space here. So yeah, I just like I have something crazy planned for Spicy, so you know I didn't want to share in the stream, but it will probably take me a hot minute to finish though, so not bad. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to do I'm gonna try something. We're gonna try something for this person. I'm gonna do an experimental piece. Maybe I won't blind you guys like that, so I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna do another headshot, but we're gonna do like we'll put the little lesbian flag down here. Oh, she's so cool. She's very cool. She's just so cool. I love their style. This looks so cool. I do like the sharp eyes, so I'm keeping that for the. I don't. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Art program. Stop acting like you're in a car crash, bro. It's acting like it's dying. Insert a baby Ash here. Ash baby here. So real. yeah, I promise after this one I will actually end the stream though, so, you know. I feel like after this stream it has helped me with like talking again. Um and like talking just like while drawing. I had a really hard time the other day when I was trying to stream and talk at the same time. So, yeah. I do hope that people who miss this channel do check up at least to see the streams and stuff. Maybe I'll post clips. Yeah, I keep joking about like doing clips and stuff. Maybe I'll post some clips so people can like check out the stream next time. It's kind of like free advertising. What? But this is pretty sick, actually. I'm like having a blast right now. This is so cool. I actually am having fun doing headshots only, I think. I don't mind just doing headshots for unless I'm like unless just like for bestie or simple character or something. Unless I'm like really liking the character, then I'll do more. But for now I think this is good. I think this is still good exercise for me. I just sat down on the stream and I just said, yeah, let's crank out like the creator of the OC didn't need to go so hard. They made her a lesbian too. Yeah, real. Talk. Yeah. Let me check my profile for something real quick on ArtFight. Okay. Girls, kiss other girls. Sorry. Had a Joker moment there for a second. Girls, kiss other girls. When I kiss my homies goodnight. No, girls kiss other girls. No one bats an eye. Oh my goodness. I think this is this person's Sona. I'm not sure. I love reptile Sonas. We love reptile Sonas. I don't know what my Sona is technically. You know, I thought about putting my Sona on ArtFight, but I'm not gonna lie, I really don't want art of myself. I know that sounds like crazy. Like Froggy is different. Froggy's like an avatar, so it's okay if Froggy gets like art, but like if oh my goodness, the program is not liking me anymore. If I like, but yeah, if I had art, a little bit more uncomfortable because it's like I don't know, like literally me, literally me. Oh my goodness. I'll probably end the stream anyways if it gets to like if you guys don't see it on my clock, but I'll probably end the stream anyways like if it gets to a certain time because like my mom will come home and I just don't want to be on stream when she comes home. So, you know, that's and she's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, ah. I'm trying to become a content creator again. Maybe I'll get my own place if I make money online. I feel like so many people are putting too many eggs in their basket, like thinking that they'll become like a content creator. There's so many like variables that I think that people need to kind of keep in mind if they want to be like content creator. There's a lot of people who think they can just like become a content creator. I do think there's like kind of a will that you have to have, and that's also why I'm like not a content creator though. It's just because like I'm like I just don't want to I just don't want to be one. But my professors, oh my goodness, I have this one professor who's like, Lou, you should become a content creator and like post your art on stream and stuff. And you know what's funny is like I was like, oh yeah, you know what's funny is that I used to make YouTube videos back back in 2016 slash like 2000, not 2016, like 2018 and so and so. Um, and like I had I think I have. He says he thinks I have a good personality for YouTube and stuff like that. Which it felt kind of like an ego boost. I was like, I don't really know if I like this, um, but you do have to have like a. I'm so glad I'm not a content creator. That's so it's so stressful. Yeah. Uh, I would join ArtFight too. Save my stuff. Yeah, no worries. I have like auto save. Um, I would join ArtFight too, but I closed my computer. Maybe another day. Yeah, no, you can always do another day. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of ArtFight stuff this week because I'm going to the beach with my family. So I'm like trying to get everything out today, and yeah, I was trying to get everything out yesterday and today. So I could just like um just hang at the beach and do job applications when I'm sitting on the beach. I can't wait. Lou talking about job applications, challenge impossible. Not talking about yeah, but challenge impossible. See, if any jobs ever stumbles upon my YouTube channel and watches this video, they should know that I'm very goal oriented. I'm a good hard worker. I'm actually being so serious. I'm being so serious. Please do not discredit me because I'm being a silly, goofy, haha. I think there's so many skeletons in the closet though for behind this account that it's just like almost impossible for me to get away with anything if I wanted to. I feel like if I kept at content creation since past you know like high school, I think I'd be all right. I think. Um, I just don't think I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really want to do that. I think a lot of my passion for content creation was like kind of killed. And I don't really know where it was killed though. Uh, want to ask? I found this channel through some search over old YouTube channel when I watched as a kid. Were you sweater metaton? Yes, I was. I was. Yeah, I still have like my drawings of sweater metaton. I thought about redrawing him. But yeah. This is my sign of like oh man, you were an even older viewer than me. Bruh. Literally. That's like you're like veteran status. Cookie's veteran status. You're like ultra veteran status. Honestly, I'm actually so happy whenever like you guys are like, "Oh my god, were you like Dorito sweater metaton?" I'm like, "Wow, you remember the trenches." So, um, but yeah, yeah. Oh my god! Yeah, my mom made me shut that whole channel down. So if you guys don't remember me crying on the streaming, guys, I gotta close my channel because my mom told me to. That is actually like the most for real thing. I think what I actually think that is what killed my content creation a little bit within the commentary sphere, which I'm glad because honestly, I don't know if I had a lot of fun. I think I did it just because I wanted people to look at my stuff. I think I was also like an attention grabbing child too. Um, so I'm not like mad. I'm actually really thankful that my mom like made me shut it all down. I thought it was the end of the world when I remember, but in hindsight, no, that was the best thing that my mom could have ever done for me. Okay, you know what's so ironic about me talking about that is that my mom just got home. So I think I'm gonna actually end the stream here though because I'm gonna go to the store to get a family friend slash like it's technically like family relative flowers for birthday, so I gotta go anyways. So, but I appreciate. This is so sad. It's happened again. Um, I remember when I was. Oh, I'm so glad I inspired you. But I'll try to. I'll probably have another stream maybe Wednesday again next week. I'll try to make this a weekly thing where I do art streams and stuff. I've been trying to get better at my content creation, but whatever. I don't know if this is content. This is just me talking about events. And I think that's what people like the most. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys hanging in there. And I'll if you're in the Discord server, you can see my art for ArtFight and stuff. I'll be uploading it there too when I'm finished. But yeah, this is so sad. Don't be sad. Oh, my hair is in my mic, and I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me for that entire time. All right. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. It was fun to looking for a job in the sun dude to talk to you later. Yeah. It will. I think looking for a job in the beach will be better than looking for a job in my room. So you know what, whatever. There's a Discord. Oh yeah, Cookie. Do you think you could put the Discord invite link before I end the stream? Um, because I do not have access to the chat here for some reason on my stream thing. I need to like log in and it just keeps logging me out. So, but yeah, thanks very much. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab the stream. So there's two Discords technically, but I'll send you the private one where I'll be pinging for the streams and stuff. So I'll put pings on the stream in this Discord. So we're gonna grab it here, and then and I'll have either I'll have Cookie or any of the other mods just let you in if you make an intro in the Discord. So all you have to do is be like, "Hello, I came from the stream." So, yeah, and then yeah. We have people make intros just because like there's people who come in and to try and raid Discords and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that. Let's give you a white background. Okay. So that's the Discord and that's the invite link, and then you should be able to get in. It's so oh yeah. Okay, Cookie did it too. Alright, we're good. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna end the stream now, but yeah, you can check the Froggy is over the stream link. Let me move this up. Okay, and then I'm gonna close the stream. There you go. That's the Discord for the 7-day invite because that was the first invite that came up. Anyways, thanks for joining the stream and hanging in with me. And I was actually kind of, I mean, I'm not shocked that there's 6 people watching. I am shocked, but at the same time, it's like I did ping you guys in the server, so I harassed you. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you guys joining. So, anyways, see you guys. I'll try to make another stream next week.